Hello and welcome back to the channel. This video will be a discussion about Matchday 8 in Italian Serie A and Juventus suffering without a plan, without a clear project. I'm gonna start this video by talking about the game which happened during Friday, which was between AC Milan and Pisa. It was a very beautiful game, and as a Calcio fan, I really enjoyed the second half because Pisa showed some strength. They fight for the point. The game ended at 2-2, and actually, I can say that uh, Pisa, even as a struggling low-table team, they they played very well. The beginning was very good for AC Milan. They scored a goal through Rafael Leao, and they the only disadvantage in that half for Milan was that Milan did not kill the game by the second goal, and they just wasted the time and the opportunity for them to, I can say, to finish the game. And on the other hand, Pisa in the second half has awakened, and they scored a goal from a penalty through Juan Guardado, the Colombian player, uh, the ex-player of Juve, Inter, and also Atalanta. And overall, after that, after that, Pisa scored a second goal through Nzola, and they put Milan in a very difficult situation to chase for the second goal. And Milan could not achieve that under the 92nd minute. For the game to end at 2-2, to tie at 2-2, and for Milan to lose two crucial points in this match day 8, where on Saturday Inter faced Napoli in the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona in Naples, and Napoli actually defended very well, and they will be able to beat Inter 3-1. This game showed the difference in experience between Antonio Conte, who is a very experienced coach, compares to Christian Chievo, who is still in the terms of learning calcio and leading Inter as a head coach is not an easy task. A team who is used to be a champion of Italy, and they played in the last 3 years two times the final of the Champions League. So the first half was Inter were the better side. They created a lot of chances, but they would not be able to score goals. And Napoli scored a goal through a penalty. If I were a referee, I would never give this penalty to Napoli. Then the second half, Napoli scored a very beautiful goal through Scott McTominay. For me, the best player of the game was Spinazzola. Spinazzola played a great game. I think Spinazzola was one of the reasons that Italy was crowned as a champion of Europe in 2021, in Euro 2021. After that, Inter tried to get back to the game through a penalty where Hakan Çalhanoğlu scored the first goal, but they will not be able to get the second goal because they were Anguissa or be able to score the third goal. And then, as you know, when Conte is with 2 goal difference, he is able to manage the game the way he like. He knows that how to make the game ugly as possible. And It shows that Napoli is a team of the league. They will focus on the league. They will try to win the league again. So they are now leading the league. The other game, I will not speak a lot about it. It's the game between Cremonese and Atalanta. Another two wasted points to Atalanta. Atalanta is still struggling under Ivan Juric, and Cremonese is on the way to, I can say, secure more points in order to stay in the Serie A and be far off relegation battle. The other game was between Sassuolo and Roma. Roma will be able to beat Sassuolo 1-0, and they had, I can say, a balanced game. They will be able to score a goal through Diabala, uh, and they will be able to protect that lead until the end of the game. They dominated the game in a lot of parts of the game, but in the second half, Sassuolo had some chances, but they were not that clear on the goal. And it shows to me that Giampiero Gasparini' main goal this year is to fight for the league and to focus on the league and to try to get the better of Roma and secure 3 points to secure a spot for the Champions League in the next year. The other game between Fiorentina and Bologna, it was another wasted opportunity for Fiorentina to come back under Stefano Pioli, and they wasted a chance to break the cycle of suffering which they are facing since the beginning of the year. Since the beginning of the season until now, Fiorentina without any win. They played 8 games, they lost 4 games, they drew 4 games. So in this game, they will be able to save 1 point. Even Bologna, until the 60th minute, they were the better side. They scored 2 goals. They were dominating, through Riccardo Orsolini, through a style of play. They were very dominant on Fiorentina. But Fiorentina will be able to come back at the last 20 minutes, taking advantage of the expulsion of Olm, the player of Bologna. I will end this video by talking about Lazio versus Juventus. Lazio will be able to beat Juventus 1-0, and also I will talk about the vicious cycle of Juventus in shortcut. So Lazio played I don't have much to talk about this game because honestly, the same shape of Juventus, lack of organization, lack of trust in front of the goal, the lack of, I can see, confidence from strikers like Vlahovic and from Jonathan David, you know. So Lazio, in simple words, they will be able to secure a goal in the beginning of the game through their player Basic, and actually to keep this goal until the end of the game. In the second half, Juventus tried to press Lazio, but Lazio played with a lot of grinda, with a lot of focus. Olimpico has a special magic on the players. Everybody knows that Lazio plays very well in their stadium, and Sarri deal with know how to deal with those games, and it showed that Igor Tudor does not have a lot of tricks how he can beat Lazio, how can to deal with big games in this Italian Serie A. I will end so the game end at 1-0 for Lazio. At the end of this video, I will talk a little bit about Juventus situation. This morning, they sacked Igor Tudor. Juventus did not win in the last 8 games, 5 draws and 3 losses, 3 consecutive losses. It seems to me that the legacy of Tudor as a player is very different from him as a coach. I think it's the right time to move on, but I still believe that Igor Tudor is a scapegoat for the problems of the mismanagement of the administration of Juventus, the lack of plan, the lack of project. You know, since the last time 5 years ago when we won the league, I feel very sad as a Juve fan. We don't, we did not play, we did not compete on Champions League, we did not compete on the league. We are like in a vicious cycle. They brought Sari, it did not work out. Then they brought After that, they sacked Sari, they brought Pirlo, and on, and then Allegri for 3 years, shambolic, unorganized performances. Just and the shocking thing in Juventus right now, how this management, apart from coaches who were weak and inefficient, how this management changed the DNA of Juventus, you know, from a winning team who always compete for Champions League, always winning Serie A titles, into of the Champions League spot team. They just content now about to qualify every year to Champions League, and that's it. So, and Juventus have 3 coaches in the last 18 months. So it's like we have a coach every 6 months. Imagine, every 6 months we have one coach. That's shocking statistic for me. I never seen that before. In conclusion, sacking Igor Tudor will not fix all the problems of Juventus. And the market does not have a lot of great coaches who can lead Juventus back to the right track. I'm not very optimistic, and I will lie to you if I say I am optimistic about what holds the future of Juventus, because this administration is committing a crime against Juventus legacy and Juventus fans, because they're changing the momentum, they're changing the mentality of a winning team to a mediocre team. And I'm afraid right now that Juventus become the other side, the second half of the table. That was everything. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Juventus future? I hope you like the video, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Have a great week.